Welcome to the Kaizorian Experience. Over here, we're going to be talking about everything African. We're going to be having debates, discussions, entertainment, as well as learning about business, art, history, and everything in between. Cultural, tribalism, and everything. We're going to be out here debating with some really interesting stuff. So, like the video, share the video, and make sure you subscribe. Welcome to the Kaizorian Experience. Over here, we're going to be talking about everything African. We're going to be having debates, discussions, entertainment, as well as learning about business, art, history, and everything in between. Cultural, tribalism, and everything. We're going to be out here debating with some really interesting stuff. So, like the video, share the video, and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe for the best experience ever. This is the biggest channel on the Afrosphere. So come and join the team, become a Kaizorian, and join the Kaizorian Empire. I universally exist within myself, within this premise, and I exist within this bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like the bird in the sky. I'ma fly like bird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma throw my bluebird in the sky. I'ma soar like bluebird in the sky. I'ma soar like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fight like bluebird in the sky. I'ma eat like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be bluebird in the sky. I'ma be free, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be free like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Back again like the second coming. Strumming my vocal cords like the hummingbird in the sky. Y'all can't deny this. Real rap lyrics, it's like I ain't got no rhyming through the sky limit. What is skin tone, shade of color, but a parallel form of frequency like a ringtone on your phone. Melanin expression, tied up in the universe, feeling like God's. Is this really us? Is it serious? Is it really wrong to be diverse? I'm a divergent, immerse myself like an ocean beneath this waves. Be a divergent, born to be different. Indigo child, wild like canary. Born to be a bluebird in the sky, flying high like a bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. Yeah, bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Everybody scream bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Yeah, bluebird in the sky. Everybody, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bone black, sweet like a berry. Flying high, so high like a canary. Scary with my hoodie on. Hating on my vibe on the street that you'll be feeling my frequency of the song. But I know that I ain't never ever gonna be ever the same. But I know. Yo, Shalom, what's good? What's good, my Nicholas and gentlemen? I guess women. Today's show is going to be about Ghana versus Africa Americans.
When I go in some of these shops in Ghana, people are like sleeping behind the counter and they have like, one of these mats right here. They have one of these mats and they're sleeping on it. And I'm just like,
yo, this is wild. This is wild, man. So Sis is basically saying that when she goes to an African shop, right, specifically a Ghanaian shop, she ain't finding someone there to actually serve her. She's saying, like, it's the same thing when I went to Uganda, right? You come to a shop, there's no one there. Like, you're trying to get a service. They're trying to get paid, apparently, right? But there's no one there. They've gone off somewhere else to chat to their friends or something, right? So I can at least know that I've seen this in Uganda, but yeah, this is kind of wild, man. Like, they're sleeping on a mat. I never seen that yet.
wow, this must be nice. Because in America, nah, You can't sleep on the job. The first time they catch you sleep on the job, that's a warning or an immediate termination. Second time,
I agree, right? I think generally African culture is a bit different than American or European culture when it comes to work. I do believe that honestly, Americans, Europeans, they work a lot more hard than most Africans do, right? I understand that there's reasons for this. You could claim, well, the pay in African countries like Ghana in general, right? If you're a store manager or just the person selling stuff, you're not getting paid that much money. That might be true, but if you're sleeping on a job, how are you going to increase profits so that you can get paid more or you can pay yourself more, right? The logic is still not really making perfect sense. But it's true, right? In general, in African countries, when you go to a government service or even just a private company, sometimes people are just sleeping on their jobs, right? I thought of that in more of a the way I thought they're sleeping on the job is more like metaphor, but this is crazy that there's people with the little blankets in Ghana literally sleeping on the job.
that's like a write up. You got to go home for a few days. Third time, your ass is fired. But here, you can sleep. The boss is sleeping. Or take naps or whatever. And then they also get an hour break, 1 hour break. But in America, you get 30-minute break. And no, you cannot sleep on the job ever, 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 or you will get fired. So that is the difference. And honestly, like I said, so let's get into the video. So number one is public displays of affection. So
I can already guess, right? Obviously, in Africa in general, Africans are a lot more prudish, right? They don't want to show affection in public, right? That's their culture, and I'm talking about all African countries, especially the Black African countries, right, and the Muslim countries. Maybe in South Africa, that's really a Dutch country. They can show public displays of affection, but in most other places, even if it's straight, people are gonna look at you different, right?
um in Ghana, it's frowned upon. It's not the norm. If you kiss your partner in public, you hear a Ghanaian woman or man say, "Hey," like, because it's offensive to them because they don't do this. If you're laying on your partner's shoulder, anything simple.
But this is kind of weird and it's a little bit toxic, right? For example, I mean, people know people get married, right? They know what married people do, right? It's not like you're out there inciting the youth to start, misbehaving. This is a normal human sort of thing. So, in a way, I think Africans are a little bit backwards on this one, right? It's like, I don't get it, right? It's a man and woman, right? Couple. They're displaying affection in public. That's a good thing if it's healthy and not over the top. But I think sometimes African cultures, like Ghanaian culture in this case, they're a little bit too performative, right? They're trying to perform to a role rather than really look at the reality of what's going on the ground. So I prefer the American or European way of basically expressing yourself the way that you want, as long as it's within, respect.
Like that, they look at it like, what? Anything other than holding hands is seen as like inappropriate in public. But in America, you can kiss in public. I've seen people doing just even a little bit more in public.
Oh, but there's something different in Africa. Two men can hold hands, right? But a man and a woman, showing affection is seen as weird. So I always found that kind of strange from the beginning, right?
Like, it's a pretty open society, but here is very reserved. You will never see a Ghanaian couple kissing in public. It's a very, very reserved culture. So that is something that's new to me because I like public displays of affection, but not really. I still kind of like my privacy. But even if you're in your car, if you're in the car and you're kissing your partner, people, Ghanaians will be looking in like, what? This is not normal. So, and they will be looking in your car because they're just not used to seeing that. But yeah, like this is
Yeah, so that one, it's not a big deal, right? To be honest, I prefer privacy myself in general, but I also like the idea of freedom. So I prefer cultures where they allow basic things of respect happen, and you choose whichever one you want to engage in, basically.
The norm here, y'all. So, if you do come here as a couple, just try to respect the culture, or you will be seen as outcast. If you don't really care, then that's your thing. But that is a cultural, major cultural difference to me because, in America, it's just really open. You can do whatever you want to do, kiss whoever you want to kiss. You have gay couples kissing. You have the mothers kissing their child. You have everybody kissing and showing public displays of affection, but here it's not normal. I've never even seen like a mother like kiss their child in public or anything, but I kiss my daughter, like I kiss her a lot. I like physical touch. Like that's how I show love. So if I have a boyfriend, a massage, little hugs or holding hands, I like that. With my child, I like to kiss her on the cheeks. I do it in public too, but I realize like that's not the norm here. It's very reserved. So any type of public displays of affection is just sometimes provide for the woman and their families. So how that works is the women will public displays of affection. There is relationships are traditional. There's
Well, when people say traditional, I know what they mean, right? But you do have to ask yourself, what do you mean? In which tradition are we talking about, right? As I remember earlier, right? So if I use Kenya as an example, as a baseline, um, basically people are asking how engage in this conversation, right? Talking about what men should be doing and what women should be doing, right? So they will be speaking from a neo-colonized mindset, saying that men should be providers, right? Providing money, security, and women should be taking care of the family. That's a traditional approach, right? But when I thought about it, it's not the traditional approach in Kenya, right? It depends on the tribe. I'll give you an example, right? Maasai culture, the men did go hunting, and the men did, obviously provide security, right? Because they were warriors, right? They were living in in the savannah and the Serengeti, so animals are a real danger, hyenas, lions, etc., right? So the animals could get eat, they could get eat, right? So the men were protectors. Also, the men were providers, right? So a lot of these Nilotic and Cushitic cultures, men were both providers and protectors, right? But you go to the Bantu cultures in Kenya, it's very different. The men were not doing much more than protection, right? The men were protecting the families, but they were not providers, right? It was more of a symbiotic sort of situation, and you can actually see this in the Bantu communities where the women are actually kind of educated, they're doing well, they're becoming the lawyers in high numbers. Meanwhile, the Nilotic and Kushite communities, the women are mostly kind of remaining behind the husbands, right? So in the Bantu communities, right, and again, I'm generalizing here in Kenya, men were protectors, but they were never providers, right? The men were actually there just to keep the homestead safe because there's a man there, right? They would, mobilize themselves in war times to protect the family unit and the tribe and the clan, but everybody was a provider, right? The women were working on the farms with the men. If the men were fishermen, the women would go out into the markets, right, and trade whatever food or thing that they were selling. So it was more symbiotic, right? Both men and women were providing for the family unit. So when people say things like, well, traditional and this, it really depends on the culture. And I think of, no, I don't think, I know this is part of Eurocentrism and white supremacy control, right? This is why, I say decolonize your mindset. You have to decolonize it. Look at your own tribe and your culture, then tell me how things were run in your tribes and culture prior to Christianity and Islam.
strictly traditional, most of them. Yeah. So how that works is the women have like bride prices. If the men want to get married to the woman, they have a bride price. And, they have to sometimes provide for the woman and their families. And they have to prove before they marry this woman that they can provide for this woman. And that
Maybe this one is West African. And as I said, right, West Africans, Nilotics, and Kushites, they have this culture of the man basically having to prove himself to be able to provide for the woman. Not just the woman, but sometimes, as she mentioned, the woman's family. I don't think that's a Kenyan Bantu sort of culture. I think with the Kenyan Bantus is, yeah, you have to be able to pay a bride price, but generally speaking, they leave you and your wife to go live your own lives by yourselves.
They don't really interfere too much. Of course, they will ask you for money, but there is no like direct cultural link suggesting that you're now the patriarch of the whole family unit. You're a patriarch of your own little family unit, you, your wife, and your children, right? So yeah, I'll have to kind of get confirmation from this for the West Africans, right? But yeah, I think that's more of a Nilotic Kushite, and as she, if she's claiming Ghanaian culture.
It is just like the culture here. So it is common for a lot of women to ask a man, like, hey, what allowance would you give me if I was your girl? Like, how much money would you give me each month to maintain me? Like, that's a common question that I've seen asked here. So to me, that's different because in America, women are begging for like they're asking for um other type of questions like I want quality time. I want quality time.
No, not true. Women are the same everywhere. They want money and security. I think maybe you mean the women in America won't start with that conversation, talking about allowances, right? But no, no, women want the same things all over the world. They want money. They want a man who can help support their lifestyles. And women generally don't like, generally speaking, overworking, right, and stressing. They don't have the same fortitude or history in evolutionary sort of world to kind of be rough, rough and tumble, going out there and making it work regardless of the context, right? So I think this is a slight wrong perception here. Women in all countries want money from the man because money allows them to maintain their lifestyles, right? Maybe they got to do their hair, clothes, and of course, it shows that this man can protect me when I'm pregnant, and I don't have to work when I'm pregnant, right? Because if your man can't protect you when you're pregnant, right, for around 10 months, right? No, let's just say 1 year, right? 1 year, right? You're pregnant and then you give birth to the baby. That's like a 12-month period. If your man can't protect you during that time and provide for you, then you're going to be struggling. You're going to go and end up in terrible little hospitals. So there is a practical thing about, being at least a certain level of provider.
Or I don't want to go 50-50. Like those are the conversations a little bit different in America. In America, we argue with men over 50-50, and here the men provide, but the women are a lot more submissive. So, you know, for me, I like about traditional men are they are providers. So, they don't waste any time like trying to court you, trying to talk to you, where in America, like men are like don't want to approach, like they kind of like seem like they hate women. So yeah, it's a
No, no, no. See, this is why I have to be here to kind of correct these assumptions, right? Men in America don't hate women. It's that you can't approach women in America on the streets or in most places because of, sex assault cases, right? And you can never know how someone feels, etc. And it's not even a clear cut, if you cross this line, then it's bad. Sometimes it's nuanced, right? So, no, it's a cultural change in America. It's nothing to do with men, right? It's to do with the culture that has prevented men from being able to, in good faith, approach a woman that they like, right? A very, very separate thing. Now, the reason I'm correcting her is because when people frame something in a certain way, they're going to be providing that picture that they want to frame, right? But the truth is a little bit more nuanced and a little bit separate from what she's saying, right? She's kind of, in low key, she's kind of taking shots on American men, right? Again, exactly. It's just the West, right? When the reality is, no, that's not why they don't approach women, right? But her point is basically she provides a provider. The African provider will approach you with a proposition. Hey, I like you. Okay, that you go for a few dates. And then, if they like you, again, men really know if they're going to marry someone quite quickly, right? If they know, then they'll make you an offer, and then, they'll start taking care of you, and then you start living with them. There'll be rules, of course. You can't be out here talking about every weekend or fortnight, I'm going for a girls' night out. No, because we know where they're going and the kinds of people they're interacting with, etc., right? So there are going to be rules imposed by a traditional African man, right? But he's not going to waste his time trying to make you fall in love with him, which again is a very the whole falling in love thing is a very Western and very now it's good to love someone, right? love is very different than falling in love, right? Falling in love is, it's more like a drug, right? Loving someone is caring about someone, building something with someone, and then maintaining that thing across time, right? A bit like the brotherhood in the army, right? That's love, right? But anyway, let's go ahead.
The fresh air because in America I feel like men don't really approach women anymore. But here I get approached a lot. A lot. And yeah, it's cool, it's nice, feels nice, to be able to like weigh out more options to see what works for me. But yeah, that is definitely like a huge cultural difference. So for men coming here as well, they realize like, okay, I have to provide for these women. Like, you can't come here talking about 50-50. It's not going to happen. Like,
I agree. I don't know a single African country that 50-50 is a thing, right? Even South Africa, I mean, maybe the people in Pretoria are having that discussion, but no. In general, in Africa, a man is now a provider. That's what people expect from you right now. Now, there's a different levels in provision, right? As I said, there's some men who are expected to become the patriarch of a larger extended family and therefore more responsibility. And there's men who are just expected to take care of their wife and children, right? When I say provider, I mean you're paying for everything, right? Rent, bills, house, whatever it is, cars, children going to school, all of that stuff is your responsibility, right? Just know that's how the culture is. Africa, yeah, as Chukwu says, right? Women have intrinsic value in Nigeria. That's why marriages require a transfer of assets from the family of the groom to the family of the bride, called a bride price. Right. So that's true. I agree with that. Right. So in Africa, it seems like generally women's value is higher because of the ability for the woman to give the husband children. And also, if you look at most African cultures, from most African tribes, the children belong to the father, actually, for most tribes, right? So only a few tribes do the children belong to the mother, like Kikuyus, for example, right? The children belong to the mother, but if you come to Kenya, every other tribe, more or less, right? The children are the father's children. So, the woman leaves their community, goes to the man's community, and then gives the man children. So that's a huge reason why African women's value is intrinsically higher than men's value.
they're not going for it. Because these men are going to go above and beyond, and they pay, like I said, not only provide for their wife, but they provide for the family as well. So I think when American men get here, like Black American men, it's a good balance for them, because in America, women want you to provide too, but they don't want to be like submissive or traditional. So if you are looking for like a traditional woman, you'll get that here. I like more of an interdependent structure. So I don't have anything against the traditional culture, and I don't have anything against modern views as well. I like the mixture of the two. And honestly, I think that the more Black American women move out here, the more Black American men move out here, intermixing the two structures will be beneficial, because I personally think an interdependent structure will work better, because we're trying to build legacies, and but I don't really want to get into that. But yeah, the relationships are traditional here. In America, it's very modern, and there's more unity again between man and woman here, where in America it's like a competition, a fight, a struggle, and honestly,
Okay, this one I agree with her. I think in general, the West relationships have kind of gone to dog shit, right? Like there is a lot of competition, right, from both sides, and you can make an argument which side started it, right? But that's not even the point, because in a relationship, right, whether it's between the government and the sovereign citizen, a relationship is about managing those relationships, right? So yeah, it's actually relevant who started the gender wars, or who's the root problem. The fact is, you have two genders that are intricately interdependent on each other for survival and also society in general. So if they're warring each other, they're having fights, then that just means that both of them have caused that problem. It is what it is, right? Because you can't exactly get rid of men, and you can't exactly get rid of women from a community right now. They don't have that kind of technology to to incubate children without women's wombs, or create women children like Jesus or something, right? Like we don't have that yet. So this is a good point that she's making over here about the West.
I think maybe this is like the balance that we need here. Um, and yeah, there's many different people you can meet here that's traveled the world, people that are more traditional. So um, I think the intermixing of the two cultures is definitely what's needed for us to elevate as one. So yeah. So another cultural difference is the cash system. So cash, everything is cash here. Everything. So what you will realize is a lot of these Ghanaians actually have a lot more money saved up than the average Black American because
Yeah, so this is something which I found interesting, right? I've noticed it, right? Like I know people just buying cars left, right, center. Almost none of them are buying cars on loans. People are buying houses again. Almost none of them are buying houses on loans. I mean, people are saving thousands of dollars, right? People have 10,000, 20, $50,000 in their bank or some kind of assets, right? In America or the European countries, most people don't have $1,000 saved up. Most people don't even have $500 saved up. So she is right, right? A lot of the middle class Ghanaians would have at least $1,000 plus saved up somewhere. And you know, it is a pretty impressive thing, to be honest, right? Because you see it that in Africa, Africans are able to just buy stuff. I mean, you think all the cars in the street, these cars cost over $6,000, right? Even if they're used because of the taxes, people are just buying them, right? All these businesses, these are coming from people that saved up. Maybe they got like some kind of loan from the community, but still, right? These are all people that have actually managed to save up.
they have to pay for rent 1 year in advance. You got to pay for a car in full. You got to pay for a house in full. So my immediate thinking is, oh, they have to save a lot more. Where in America, it's like credit. So everything is not, you don't own anything. You're just renting, 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 mortgage, 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 car note, car note, car note. Like that is the difference. In my last interview, he said,
But I'll say this, I do find this kind of interesting that in West Africa, you pay for rent for like 6 months or a year in advance. That's kind of strange. In East Africa, you pay rent month to month, right? You know, you pay your deposit. So in case you break things in the house or you don't pay rent 1 month, they take the money from the deposit to pay themselves, and then the month later, right? Every month in 1 month in advance. So if you want to move into a new house, and the house is $300 a month, then you pay $600 upfront. Then every end of the month you pay $300, right? In West Africa, I'm hearing that a lot of these countries like Ghana and Nigeria, you actually have to supplement rent for a whole year. I mean, I find that kind of a very different culture.
my interviewee, um, he was talking about like everything you would expect from living in a black country, you can experience it here. You will experience it here. So like bartering, they do a lot of bartering here. I owe you, you owe me type of thing, you know. Um, People exchange services. Um, yeah, it's like basically
Yeah, I don't think I owe you, you owe me is very common. I'm not sure I understood exactly what she's trying to say, but no, that's not what happens, right? Bartering is it's not I owe you, you owe me. Bartering is what in Africa at least context, right? Bartering is when you know, someone is selling an object. They're selling it for $200, right? So they hike up the price. The real value of the price that they would be willing to let go of is $120, and they're still making profit. So they tell you $200. So when you hear $200, you're now willing to say, nah, that's too much. Then you kind of meet in the middle ground, maybe $150. So they make way more profit than they originally intended, but you also feel like you saved. That's what bartering is, not this I owe you, you owe me stuff. I don't know what she's referring to be honest, because people in Africa generally don't like people not paying in full for things, you know, because you never get the money back.
doing business with a brother or sister. Like it's not they a lot of Ghanaians they use their money to buy like to build legacy. Like they building houses. Whenever they get money here, they building houses. But in America it seems like people buying like clothes, shoes, things to impress. Um And here, they just don't do that. Like, the first thing they're gonna do is buy land, buy something, own something. But in America, we rent a lot more. So that is the major difference. But
Yes, but there's also legitimate reasons why you rent more in America. There's just no land. Like apart from those like southern states where everything is empty, no development, then what's the point of buying land there, right? Unless you're a businessman, you want to set up a farm or some kind of business, right? Hmm.
How's, how's a white man that lives next to my people got rich, bro? He got all the black people land because they didn't know what was under the land. He was like, I don't
Oh
know
shit,
what he was like. What do they call them people that they know like to go under the land? He get excavated, whatever, like surveyed the land. He knew what
survey.
they did with land. He knew it was oil under the land, and he found oil. So it land, yeah, you never know what's under there, bro.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, but you know what? I don't get it right. Didn't you guys fight for your land so much in America, and then you kind of gave it away and sold it to the whites and left the South and moved to New York? Was it worth it?
See, you don't even know the whole story. You're not over here, or you just talking. Uh, some black people got ran off. Black people like drugs, hipping. Some black people never lost their land. Like my people, they never lost their land.
Okay. Shout out. That's good, man.
between the two um, countries, like,
You
yeah,
know,
it's kind of opening up.
Yeah, go ahead.
LAR movement. Then you would know like his story. Like his grandpa had somebody died in his family, and then the Klan came and ran his grandma off his land, and so that's what happened to his people. Like they're having a lot of black people. They got ran off their land by the Klan or the white people in the towns that didn't want them in their land.
I see. So if you didn't sell it, actually, they would have just found a way to like take it anyways for some of them.
They could come kill you at night, bro. It was Jim Crow did that. And what black
Yeah,
people gonna do?
I see. I get your point. I get your point. So it's a bit ignorant of me just thinking they willingly left the South. If like their life was actually in danger, then makes
Yeah.
sense.
Kazu, Kazu,
Yeah,
some of them lost it because they tax them a lot. Those black people that own those land in the south, they got no money. So the government of the
mm,
day, what they're doing, either they use road to pass through those territories, or they
Black
will
people.
put a hard tax on it. So these black people have no choice; they have to sell it. I wonder that they have to tell you, but I don't know because a lot of them claim Indians nowadays. Is this guy black American or is he an Indian guy? Because it's easy because of that Indian guy land. Some of these certain ones are like the slaves who like, you know, cotton pickers. Some of them buy those land those days. You understand me? These
mhm,
are the Africans that buy these lands. You know, the Africans they brought in there as slaves, bought these lands, they become farming on it themselves, making a lot of money from that, making their own money and raise their own family there. So they also want to be buried there. You understand me? Because of their system there. You see, in Africa, we still have almost about say 1,000 years old or 2,000 years old type of tradition that still going on. Buy a land or your family give you a land when you grown up or you inherited a land from your family, from your father. Then when you're about to marry, sometimes they give you land to build your own house. You understand? So our culture is still almost still about 1,000 years old, or less. I put 1,000, but I know more than that. So we accept you can never lose. You as an African, for you to say you don't have a land is rare, or you have to buy your own land. You understand me? With maybe a neighbor
mhm,
that a bigger one, or this thing. So that battery is talking about is like you're right. I want to buy something. I want to buy something from you. You said 1,000. I said no. You try to bring it down very low because you know where you will be up to. You said 1,000, man, crazy. I give you 200. Say, no, man. You just want to kill me. So we bought the maybe that's what about 1,000 might be 600 or 700 later. You know what I mean?
mhm.
That
Yeah.
you see, but she didn't grow up in that system. I think she grew up in America. I think she looks a Ghanaian who came to America, who came to home. I don't know where she's from. That's just the way it is. You understand me? Marrying
Mhm.
nowadays, you marry strategically. You know, you don't just marry anyhow. Like I tell them, my brother. When you want to marry, you marry somebody that you think that's only the man do everything. Man, forget it. That is already faded, bro. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's already faded. With this modern life of you can get a job, I can get a job. Why should I carry all the beast now? My father did it, my grandfather did it, but I'm not
Hmm.
doing it. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it. You feel me? I'm not doing it. I'm married strategically, you know, because I like to enjoy wealth. You understand me? So I have to marry somebody I think that will contribute that wealth to me. You feel me?
Hmm.
That's the way it goes.
That's a
But you just have to be honest and be truthful and become a good human being. I don't want to marry you because you're beauty, then you want to give me children that I have to carry the whole load in my head. Hell no, you know.
good. Okay, I think you brought up something very interesting there, Kidola, right? And I don't know how it is in America, but some women basically will add value to your life. Like whichever way, it doesn't have to be money, right? Let's say you pay for everything, but the woman's gonna actually take care of you and your house and your family and your business. So every time, let's say Kidola is hustling, he gives he gives it to his wife to help manage, and she'll do it, and she'll actually be willing to be part of the team. But there are some women in Africa, you're paying for everything, they're ungrateful, and they still don't add value to your life, right? They actually just think being existing is the value that they add. So yeah, that's a really good point, Kidola. Right? Issue is a lot of men go just for the most beautiful woman, but then they find a woman that's useless, and then they complain, they're unhappy, they can't, they're going crazy and all that kind of stuff.
You gotta get
Maybe
somebody
in
that's
Ghana.
down. You gotta
Hmm.
get somebody uh, to build. Shit. At this age, how old I am now, bro, you can't just be pretty and just be stupid.
Exactly. But yeah, don't you should come to Africa, man. Find yourself a good, beautiful woman. Leave those Keishas alone, man. All they're
Nah,
gonna do is shout at you. You will still wanna, bro. You wanna be out here fighting with Keishas?
I don't be fighting. Like,
Kazu,
I
Kazu, the other
you know
one,
how
I
it
hate
be.
them.
So,
Okay, go on, man.
feel me? I can't. My last girlfriend I met at a party.
Hmm.
So, Kazu, the
I
truth of matter, the truth of matter, Kazu, is this. You see, um, there's some where heavy, hardworking African women. Let's say Nigeria or Ghana, there are women like very good business women. They make a lot of money. If you marry those kind of women, right, or you have opportunity to you work, you establish this women into business, right? It's okay. Um, um, I don't know how my job is going. I will give you some money to do business, right? Then
Hmm.
you open that business for her. When that business is booming, she's also contributing to your life in terms of feeding, housekeeping. Sometimes some of these women are so rich that they can single-handedly build a house. You understand? They can still build a house. And when these houses are being built, sometimes because the man is the one that provides that money for the business, the property is still under the man's name. You have to understand, we go by whatever she do over there because she have children, everything belongs to the family. You understand me? So the children will see inherit everything. You know what I mean? So divorce is hardly being in Africa. It's still very hardly in Africa. They don't just give you divorce like that. You understand me? You have to go back to the village and settle it, settle. I'm speaking under Nigeria something. The divorce court say, okay, why don't you go back home, call your mother, family talking. After 3 years, it didn't work out. Because there's no judge in Nigeria actually want to actually divorce a couple. They'll say, man, it's a bad luck. You know what I mean? They'll be give you time. But when they take the divorce is really kind of mess up. The boss said, no, we don't want. Aha, the man said, you said it. Then that divorce will go in. But you have to understand the property belongs to the man, but the man have to start. If the children are young, the man have to start giving money to the woman to take care of the children, but not the
Hmm.
house, not the car, not the fat bank account if the man is very rich. But he can provide a comfortable place or rent for the woman to stay to take care of his children because the children belong to him. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
don't just it goes there. But one thing also, see this modern nowadays, if you smell especially the white way of life. I'm not talking about the other ones. The white people way of life, my brother. You will not want to go back to that one whereby woman be telling you my father is sick. Especially if you're the breadwinner, you supporting her, you supporting the family also in the other side. No man, I really hate it. I'm not. Oh, I want to do my hair. I want to buy a shoe, and now I'm not interested in that because I've never. That's something I really hate. You know what I mean? Calling me I want to buy a shoe or give me an allowance. No, go and make your money. You understand me? Go and make your money so that I bring mine. We can build the whole castle together. You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
that's the truth, man. I'm wanting that it's very difficult for a black woman to really marry you when you're broke. Very, very difficult. You understand
But
me?
what do you think? What do you think a black women don't like marrying a poor man? With potential. Why are they always looking for money?
Is the culture? Is the culture? Is the culture is before it was farming, the man farm, the woman farm. Before it was not really about money. When you marry them,
Exactly. Everybody helps each other, right?
yeah, they'll help each other, have children, create legacy, create family, as a huge family, because they have huge land and everything. But when the paper money started coming into the whole ball game, it now shift from coming together and do something to like, can you take care of your wife? You understand me? Because the better your wife, like the Igbo said, if my wife is looking good, I have the I have the good name, or oh, I'm also, you know what I mean? It is the Igbo
Hmm.
culture that thing is really in Nigeria. I speak under Nigeria now. Igbo man will so touch up his wife, driving jeep, living the best clothes and everything, while himself is trekking, taking a walk to his office, or you know what I mean. But in other culture, like the Yoruba culture, it's not really like that. But still, it's still kind of related to you have to take care of everything if you don't have the money. But there are some homes where bad man say, okay, you know what? I take care of everything, the feeding, everything. If there are 5 children, 7 children, okay, you take care of these 2 children school fees. I take care of the other ones, just for the man to have a little bit breathing space. You understand me? But sometimes nowadays, sort of they add things together. Things are changing slowly now because most women now they're making a lot of money. So some of them are really assisting this man also to do a lot also because if you say, oh, because you don't have money, but you would want making the money. But you have to understand, African culture is still thick. It will not just change like that, but still 80% men still carry the highest responsibility in Africa as a
Hmm.
whole. That it will take time before that will change. You understand me? It will take time.
Hmm.
That apart from us that kind of like we sleep out of that. For me, that is not in that culture like that. I'm not really experiencing. I want to do my hair. I want to buy shoe, buy me this. My mother is sick. I'm not into it because I've tasted that life of not really doing that. you know, so
Oh
I've
yeah.
tasted that life. I've said that I'm not really doing that. Rather, me and my wife will contribute money together. That's why I could build house. That's why I could build houses. You know what I mean? That's why I could build house in
Hmm.
my village. That's why I could buy a house in Lagos. I'm even building one for Airbnb because we bring money together. You know what I mean? That's what I said. I marry strategically. I don't marry because that one thing. No, man. I don't marry because look, I admire some certain things. I'm capitalist in my mind. I want to drive beautiful car. I want to live in a beautiful house. I want to have the
Hmm.
best. But because it's my culture to marry, be as an African, I marry. They have beautiful children.
Hmm.
Then we have to join hands together, 50-50.
No, no, that to me that makes a lot of sense, man. Because like I said, yeah, okay, yeah. So for people like Dante, right? Yeah, if you do come to Africa, no, some families will expect you to start becoming the patriarch, right? Like all their problems, man. Like when their mom, their grandma, their niece, nephew gets sick, they'll be coming to you. And here's the thing, because Africans value culture, and I call it FE, extroverted feeling, where you're kind of manipulated into doing it. So if you don't do it, there's going to be consequences. Now they're going to call you mean, especially if they see that you have a nice house. So just know, yeah, that shit will happen.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah. So come
NWA,
through.
bro. You know what NWA
Yeah.
stands? Yeah, definitely is over here. I'm not coming to Africa like that, bro. I'm coming. If you want to come home to America with me, that's what's up. If you don't, it is what it is.
Yeah, but you'll be seeing some women with like nyash and nyash and nyash and nyash. That's gonna be
Yeah, I'm not
making you turn your head crazy.
me stay in Africa, bro. When I got what I got in America, I actually
Okay.
got some.
Okay.
My people bled, sweat, and died over there for something. They gonna have to come out something over there for me to go over there like that.
Bro, guarantee you that African Nyash is better than FBA Nyash, man. FBA Nyash, trust me, African Nyash is
No, no,
better.
man. We got you got Africans over there that want to be Americans. What are you talking about?
Oh, true, true.
What do you mean? That's American. That's a trick bag. Because Africans be African American.
Yeah, and that's a good point.
to see like what's important. So now when I get my money, I treat my money more like a local. That's why when I get on public transport or I do certain things, like I bring exact change because I'm trying to save every single dime. Because as soon as the year rolls over, you got to pay for rent another year in advance. So you have to keep these things in mind and kind of act like a local when you get here to be able to save your money.
You could live on an Airbnb and pay month to month or day to day if you want, but that's going to be way more expensive. Like if you're going to go to Ghana or Nigeria, if you don't have a friend who can let you stay in their place for like monthly rent, yeah, just find out someone who's going to let you do it for 6 months because you're going to save way more money than if you try staying in Airbnb.
Because it is a cash culture. You're not going to get anything on credit here. Another thing is the work culture is much more
I hope this woman is not married yet. I hope she's single because she's out here bouncing and shit, right, on purpose for the audience. So hopefully she doesn't have a husband yet.
credit here. Another thing is the work culture is much more relaxed. So this will be like annoying to you at first because it doesn't benefit you as a customer if you're in a rush. But I realize like this is a natural pace of life here in Ghana, and in America we are literally running a rat race. Now, one thing I loved about living in America is it's taught me to be ambitious. If I never lived in America, I wouldn't have this ambitious spirit, and I like that about America. But in Ghana, things are a lot more relaxed, and that's not to say that being an American is better than a Ghanaian. No, what I'm saying is, I
That's what she means by the way. Look, never, never let people mince their words, right? She's basically saying that Ghanaians are lazy. They ain't got no ambition. That these people are just out here doing the least in order to get through the day. But because she's American, she's got that superior ambition. Let's not mince the words, right? This American woman thinks she's better than Ghanaians, and that is unfortunately some of the mentality that people come into Africa until she gets humbled one day.
like
Hardcore.
the balance of how both environments are um, changing me. So in America, the reason I'm ambitious is because I lived in New York. And that's the main reason why I moved to New York is to be more motivated, be more independent. But the reason I moved here to Ghana is to have my daughter have a humbling upbringing for her to have live a slower paced lifestyle with a community around her. So this is what I get in this type of environment, a lot more slower paced environment. And it benefits me now in my life, just like when I lived in New York, it benefited me. So I just learned to adapt because I realized I'm not in New York. This is Ghana. When I go in some of these shops in Ghana, people are like sleeping behind the counter and they
Yo, Kilo, what's going on, man? Why are West Africans sleeping in the counters in the shops?
have like
Yeah, that's kind of crazy though. I don't think in Kenya people sleep in the shops. I've never seen one before, but
oh
No, I think
one of these mats right here.
I think if you have an expensive shop, You cannot just lock it and let it go. So sometimes they have like store boys, right? It's store boys that sleep in
Mm-hmm.
these stores. Store boys like boys that they train how to learn business. You know what I mean? That's if I have a big
Mm-hmm.
business, right? I have expensive maybe electronics or any kind of store. Very expensive. If I lock it, I'll be scared like, okay, someone can come and bring it to that store, steal my things. So if they are boys, in West Africa, boys learn how to do business. So some of these small boys, they come in as age of 10, 11, or 12. They're learning this business until they become like 18, 19. So they know
Mm-hmm.
how to do business. Then they become free. Then their master will not give them huge amount of money to go and establish themselves. You understand me? You know,
Mm-hmm.
to go maybe if they're doing business for about say they learn how to do business for 10 years. So when they're free, the master can give them maybe up to about $30,000. Okay, this for you. Normally they also go towards the same business they learn, or they go towards that business, but they already know how to trade, how to manage money, how to behave, Then you
Mm-hmm.
also have a credit available for him in case of anything happen or he shop burn out, that the master can have credit of about $7,000 for you in case of anything happen to you. But it's just okay. But not just because you have credit open for you from him. If you become a useless boy, you spend your money on women, you're not coming back. Last you have accident, you can't really do much, so he will still assist you. You understand me? But you pay him back later. That's like a loan now. But the other one is like what you did for him for about 10 years. If it's $30,000 for that business at that time, we just give it to you. That's right. So
Interesting.
some of these
Interesting.
guys,
Okay. Okay.
so some of these guys sleep in the store, but not in the home, and that will happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So yeah. Okay. That explains it.
They have one of these beds and they're sleeping on it, and I'm just like,
Patrick Uche, what's good? What's your thoughts in the conversation? Can you hear us, or you gonna wait? Okay.
wow, this must be nice. Because in America, nah, you can't sleep on the job. The first time they catch you sleep on the job, that's a warning or an immediate termination. Second time, that's like a write up. You got to go home for a few days. Third time,
I remember, guys, when people are trying to manipulate you, right, and talk shit about your country, they'll start saying things like, "Wow, it must be nice." She's not really saying that. She's saying Ghana
But
is backwards for people
but
being able to stick with their job.
you can't do that shit in America, bro. You will get fired for that shit. You will get fired for sleeping on the job in America. You like y'all can play in Africa. We can't play in America with you white people.
Yeah, but I think in Africa as well, like well, let's say Ghana, right? Let's just say Ghana, because I've never seen someone sleep in Kenya. I think a lot of the times the boss has gone away somewhere, and then they're kind of left looking after the shop. So it's not really mostly their business. It's that person that you employ from the village who doesn't really care about business. They don't even know that they're losing money by sleeping on the job.
It's a true culture difference. We're not used to that.
Yeah. No, no, but that's definitely wild.
And
You
over and I seen niggas sleeping at the job, bro. I was like, damn, this what y'all do in Africa?
mhm.
your ass is fired. But here, you can sleep. The boss is sleeping. You know,
Wait. Nah, that's a violation, man. Look, I've never. Okay, and maybe she's right, but I don't know. I think she's stretching on the boss sleeping.
or take naps or whatever. And then they also get an hour break, 1 hour break. But in America, you get 30-minute break. And no, you cannot sleep on the job ever.
Well, no, in America you can get an hour break. It depends the job you're doing, right? But
It depends on what kind of job you're doing, but most jobs they give you ass 30 minutes.
oh wow, that's crazy.
Ever, or you will get fired. So that is the difference. And honestly, like I said, I like the combination of the two environments for me. So I like the time that I spent in New York, but I also like the time that I'm spending now because in New York, everything was just go, 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 go. So here, if I want that slower pace environment, this is something that I have to embrace. This is how their work environment is, and this is how it is in New York. So you can't come to Ghana expecting it to be.
Wow, stable eight. That's a wild one, right? She's trying to be nice. We cuddle Africans out of pity, man. Man,
Bro,
shots fired, man.
you know what they say about New York though, Tazo?
Nah, do you say it again?
Do you know what they say about New
Wait, sorry, you broke up. I didn't catch
York?
that.
Yeah,
It goes in and out. I can't.
nah. What they say New York is a city that never sleeps, bro. Like they always work. They
Mm.
always got shit in New York. It's different than the South because like if where I live, bro, shit closes at 12.
All right. And Lo Wang says she'll fall in love with a border driver when she goes to Kenya. But those guys look strong and they look muscular.
Like New York. So just keep that in mind when you're coming out here. You're going to have to practice a lot more patience and understanding, and yeah, I respect Ghanaians completely, but it's kind of funny when I see people sleeping behind the counter. I'm like, wow, like this is different. So
But you know what? Yeah, just in case what she's saying is true about the sleeping part, right? Ghana is hot. Like, most of America is not that hot, right? Trust me, I've been to Mombasa before in Kenya, and people there are much slower. They don't do much work like Nairobi. Like, she's not gonna say this about Lagos, right? Or
How high,
Nairobi.
how high you talk?
Go ahead.
Like what's the temperature like? Does it get hot in the South?
Okay, let me check. I think let's see Mombasa temperature. Let me show you one second. Mombasa temperature in Fahrenheit. Let's see right now. Okay, right now it's like 85 degrees Fahrenheit. But
Nah, it'd be like 90 something, bro. And then last year we hold down drought. It was 100 something every day in Texas.
okay, okay, that's definitely hot. That's definitely hot, as well. But and Southern is slow as well. It's not like she's comparing New York to Ghana. If you go to the South, people niggas is just out there also kind of taking their time as well, isn't it?
After at the job, man, you get for that.
Right.
And getting not in trouble for that.
Is she African American? I think she's African American. I don't think she's Ghanaian, but
another
she doesn't
cultural
look like.
difference is another cultural difference is the way people greet one another. Like good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Like random strangers, if they pass by you on the street, they will greet you like this. So when I came here, that was like a huge culture shock for me because in New York it's the opposite, complete opposite. Like you don't greet anybody, you just get straight to the point. You be as efficient as possible and as fast as you can. But here it's like, as soon as you step in someone's car into any room or vehicle or whatever, you greet people. If you don't feel like greeting them, okay, fine. But if you are going to buy from somebody or, whatever, you walk into their store, it's best to say that, good morning, good evening, whatever, before you purchase something. Because
Yeah, I don't know where. Okay, she probably lives in Accra, right? But I don't think this is true, man. Like, if you go to Lagos or Nairobi, you don't have to greet everyone. And also this kind of thing, calling Africa slow. Maybe Accra is slow, but go to Lagos right now, and I promise you, it's more busy than New
I mean,
York.
it's like the South. We say people will speak to you, bro. Random people give at you and shit. But
Okay.
up north, they trying to look at with the greeting people.
Kaz, I
Ah,
think, Kaz, I think there are some people in Lagos who are even happy, who are also to sell something that they don't even have, but have you as a customer tell you, like, let's assume I might pretend I sell cars or I sell electronics, I sell anything, right? But I'm like a middleman. So I will go a place and buy it and come and sell it to you again. So there's no time to rest in Lagos. Lagos is a place whereby it's 24 hours. You understand me? In 24 hours. Everybody wants to make money. Everybody's hustling. So I don't know what she's saying. People are lazy. People, no, 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 no. Maybe she's just talking her own thing. I think our crisis is is very busy. I think Ghana can be very laid back territory,
Yeah, but
but
Accra is gonna be busy, man.
what she's trying to say like that. You understand me? So what you call it lazy, I really don't know. But in Lagos, forget Lagos. Lagos is hell busy, 24 hours, no sleep. You understand me? Every time people are selling things, no sleep. Now there's era of solar. Solar just on everywhere, street light. You know what I mean? That's just it. I don't know what she was talking about. She look like a single mother.
I think she is because she keeps talking about her child, but she's talking about dating men. So yes, this is a baby mama. Look, yeah, it's a baby mama.
They're gonna, you don't want those misunderstandings, like people think that you're rude. Okay. So yeah, I've learned to say, these things over time. Sometimes I still slip up and I get back into these like New York ways, but yeah, that's really like a huge cultural difference. So be prepared for that. Another cultural difference is the Eurocentric beauty standards. So here in
Uh oh. Come on, man. This one is insane, right? I don't know what she's gonna. No, I know what she's gonna say, and I ain't seen the video. This is live react. She's gonna claim that African women have a Eurocentric, or rather, African men have a Eurocentric beauty standard in Africa. Maybe Ghana, I don't know, but like in Kenya, most women here have natural hair. They have braids or locks. Braids is you use extensions and then you put braids. African styles, most of them have that. Let's see what she's gonna say.
Ghana, they sell a lot of skin bleaching products. Actually, when I'm online and I'm like, they show me a lot of Ghanaian like brands, products that are being sold on Instagram. And people are marketing their business on there. And I see a lot of skin bleaching commercials. And I'm just like, why are y'all showing me this? I don't bleach. But yeah, so that is a huge cultural difference. Um, One person said, Lawava, in one of my interviews, she was like, people were competing about who is more light skinned, who is more, this is something that I think we went through in America for a short period. But then, this Black Pride movement started. And people don't really have those type of discussions anymore. You will find a few people having those discussions in America, but it's not as common as it used to be. But here, it's just a huge cultural difference. And when you see like the skin bleaching products in the front of the store, it's such a difference because I'm like, in America, they hide those products. I'm not saying they don't sell those products, but it's usually in the back somewhere. Like, you know, because like I said, we started this Black Pride movement there, so people don't really use those skin bleaching products. A lot of girls don't even use perm like that anymore. But here, a lot of those things are common because some people are trying to, uh, you know, get like this Eurocentric beauty. And I know a lot of that is caused by like colonization and, yeah. So this one is that's a cultural difference is respect for elders. Like elders get like seniority, like here. But in America, we don't care how old you are. If you don't show respect, we don't give you respect. That is the difference. And I went through one situation, just one situation here where I had a taxi driver try to charge me for like the full ride, and I got off the ride less than halfway through, and he tried to charge me more than what I was supposed to pay. And it wasn't even about the money, it was just about the principle. And I was like, you're really not going to give me my change, but you're going to give everybody else their change. And then when I spoke up for myself respectfully, everybody was like, no, don't say nothing. No. And I'm like, no, I'm going to speak up. He's wrong. He's stealing